Okay guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to talk about buying and selling skins. Not just the building out the normal loadouts. I want to actually take like 5 to 10 minutes just to sort of discuss the best ways to buy and sell skins, things to be mindful of. The fact that you can use third-party sites and you can use Steam. I'm going to sort of divide it into sections. I'll do my best to timestamp it down below. I know if you're an experienced trader, this video might not be for you, so by all means, you can chill and listen to my lovely voice if you want to, or you can go watch something else. Just make sure you hit that like button. But yeah, gonna try and keep it under 10 minutes, try and break it down into at least how I go about buying and selling skins, and like the steps you should follow, the best places to go, and stuff like that. So if you do enjoy it, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're new around here. Let me know in the comments down below if you like this sort of content and want to see more of it, or if you just want me to show off flashy skins all the time. I do have a couple of cases to open throughout this. I mean, I've got capsules and some cases. I think we've got some... Oh, that's fine. Okay, I got... we've got another, like, 2 trade offers to accept for cases, so we will open a few through this, and let's get right into it. Now, you will have just seen an advert from CSGO Empire. They have been super cool, and they're going to let me discuss more than just CSGO Empire. So don't worry, it's not a full video, just showcasing that. It's actually covering everything. They've been super cool about it, so we can talk about every aspect of buying and selling skins. I want to cover Steam buying first, because there seems to be this sort of like attitude towards buying skins on Steam. Like, some people look down on it. Now, here's the main thing. You want to go to market, okay? And I'm going to do it on the web browser rather than the app, just because it's a little bit easier. Buying and selling skins on Steam is like the most natural, easy go-to way to do things when you first get into Counter-Strike. Like, you can literally search for everything. I mean, I can literally filter by Counter-Strike 2. This is purely what we're focusing on here. And this is normally what you're going to see. You're normally going to see a lot of cases, sticker capsules, and as you go through, like if I can load page 6 yet, you start to see different skins. And I, honestly, for the very beginning, this is mostly fine. If people are trying to give you shit for buying skins on Steam, ignore them. Unless the future points apply to you, in which case then you should take some of it into consideration. But we shouldn't really be shaming buying skins on Steam for a couple of reasons. The first reason for me is going to be if you're looking at like very budget items. So let's say I want to buy like an elite build AK. You're just going to search elite build. In hindsight, this is probably going to give me the AWP and the AK, so I might need to go like AK-47 elite build. Hopefully this will work. There you go. We're going for AK-47 elite build. We want to buy one. Now, this isn't like the craziest budget item in the world, but what I want to do here is, like, okay, maybe you want to buy a factory new elite build. It starts from £5. I will note now, this is not the normal screen you'll see, because I have some extensions on, which is why I get this extra bit, and you can see it's going to show me the stickers and the float and stuff. You normally don't get this. Normally, all you get is, if I go into market now and do the exact same search, just to show, like, the comparison. If I go to the factory new again, this is what you'll see. Like, majority of the time, if you don't have the extensions, I will link both the extensions in the description down below if you do want to grab them. So normally, you have to come here, you have to click, oh, I want to inspect in-game. You'll be, alright, cool, I inspected it in-game, I like the float, so 0.3, let me go buy it. You have Steam balance, you buy it, done, dusted. There's no real worries at all here. You're not having to worry about scams, you're not going to have to worry about third-party sites having details, anything like that. It's a simple process. And I understand a lot of people want to do that, and there's nothing against that. It works even better when you are actually going for true budget skins. And I'll continue in here just so I don't confuse things with the extensions. Let's say I want to get a Warhawk Glock. Now this is super cheap. It's 17 pence, and there's error getting listings. Of course, there's error getting listings as I'm trying to showcase. Here we go. It's a 17 pence Glock. You're like, I want a Warhawk. I don't have much to spend. 17 pence works really well for me. I want to get it and field test it. Let me check what it's like. Look at it, think that's cool, get some stickers with it, is what it is. It's a nice float as well, 0.19, that's a good field test of float. This is exactly what I want. At this point, I would say, especially for the Warhawk, there's no real need to go to a third-party site. And, like, that's just being honest. You might be able to buy this for 16 pence, 15 pence, maybe 14 pence if you're lucky. At that point, you're saving 3p, and I would argue that it might not be worth going to the third-party site to go and buy it. Like, being realistic, I think this is the fine time to buy skins on Steam. The other time that it's fine to buy skins on the Steam market for me is if you're looking for stuff that doesn't have overpay or you're trying to snipe a deal. Now, let's go back and say, for example, you really want a gut knife Doppler. Now, I know the gut knife is not popular, but it's the easiest one I can search for here. You might be saying, I really want a factory new gut knife Doppler, and they're starting from £227. Now, I am using the extension for this, otherwise it's a nightmare trying to figure out the stuff for Dopplers, okay? So at this point, you should just have someone had a buy order for £1. You should be using the extensions at this point. But you can come here and you can see, and it's going to label for me what phases it is. Now, Phase 3 Doppler is going to be more bullish, and realistically I think you want like a Phase 1 or a Phase 2. But you can see here, okay, there's a phase 1 for £235. You could go and compare that against another site to see what it is. Now, this is where we get onto the sites where you can check prices. And we'll come back to this page in a second. There's two sites that you should be using in general to check prices. The first one is going to be CSGO Stash. It's probably going to change to CS2 Stash, but the domain and URL is still CSGO Stash. This is the best place to check skins in general and get Steam pricing. Like, if I'm thinking about building out an inventory for you guys, what I will normally do is come in here and go, okay, I need to go for pistols. We're going red, right? Let me go to USP. And then you just scroll down all of them. I can already see, okay, there's a traitor, there's a kill confirmed, they're expensive, there's like serum. You get the drill. I can go through all of these. You can directly inspect from the first click. So if I just hit inspect in game for factory new, it's going to bring it up for me. I'm going to be able to see this. Super cool, super handy. I can then also click through to the traitor, and I can see in one glance all of the prices for every condition that comes in. You can somewhat preview how the condition changes. Now, it's a brightness skin, so it doesn't show it too much. This isn't also fully accurate for CS2, but this is much easier than browsing the Steam market, I'll be honest. If you're after like certain things or want a general browse, this is a much better way to sort of get an idea of what you're after. So I would recommend CSGO Stash for this. You can click across and see the bit skins prices, but if you want to get third-party site prices, and this is like the next stage, if you want to go buy on third parties, you want to go and use CSGO skins.gg. I almost forgot it there. I'll link these two in the description below. And now we can go for the same thing here. But keep in mind, this isn't aiming for Steam price. This is where you're going to try and find out things are cheaper. The one bit that might cause confusion now is CSGO skins forces the price in US dollars. So I can't change this. CSGO Stash, you can pick and choose whatever bloody price you want. So we're going to have to do a little bit of a conversion mental math here to maybe figure out the differences. But let's go for the traitor again, because that's what we're on now. So you can say, okay, I wanted the traitor, but I don't want to pay £18 for minimal wear on the Steam market. You're going to say, okay, let's go here. And you see already, $15 on a third-party site. Okay, that's cool. I want to do this. And just for context, like about $15 in GBP, just to make it clear, it's like 12 quid. Yeah. So this £18 skin on Steam, you will be able to go to a third-party site and buy for around £12. So you're saving £6. And it's at this point where I think this is when you should be going with third-party instead. As soon as you're saving like maybe 30 to 50 pence or 30 to 50 cents per skin minimum, you should start going third party, I think. Whenever it's like 20p skins, not so much. When they're like 50p to £1 and you can get discount, then you should. And you can see here, you can see a list of like the current active offers from all the sites that CSGO Skins has partnered with. So there will be some sites in here that don't feature, and you can see Steam is actually listed as the highest price. So you can see a bunch of sites here. And you will recognize some that we've discussed in Discord on videos in the past, on stream. Buff163 is like the notorious Chinese market where you're going to get them for the cheapest, or the Chinese trading platform, whatever way they want to phrase it. And then you can see, okay, like Skinport's there at $16, GamerPay's there at $15. Buff163 you need balance for, confusing, complex. GamerPay though, you can just add on site balance and you can buy it straight away. So you could say, okay, I want to get this, let's go view offer. Obviously you should go through the whole sign-in process, but it basically takes you straight through and you can see the listings here. You can see the discount it has compared to the Steam price, how many days on like trade hold it has, and also its wear. You'd sign in, you'd add balance to the account, and you could buy this skin. And then it will get delivered. It's a peer-to-peer trading. And all that goodness. Now, there's many other sites. I went for GamerPay because they're the cheapest here. Let's look at another skin, for example. Here you go. Let's say you wanted an op containment breach. You wanted it in factory new. $314 here. Let's go to CSGO Stash and check. Now, you can just search for it. I don't know why I'm going through the filters every time. You can just search. And you can see it's £500. There's already going to be a big discount difference in here. $314 in GBP, for context, is £253. The savings here are insane. Now, this is based on like the most recently sold item. I don't know if it'll be different if we actually go on to the market. I should have also came back to this gut knife thing. We've got a little bit scattered, guys, but I think I'm explaining the fine. Just to double check that CSGO Stash has accurate pricing. It normally does. It does. £510. Literally almost half the price if you go to a third-party site. And in this case, Skinport's listed as the cheapest one. We're going to go view offer. We're going to go through the Skinport. Now, it's got suggested price is $344, so I think whoever's currently like sold it on Steam at $500 must have had overpay for some reason. But 23% discount. You can see all the details here. You can see the float pattern on it. You can get a screenshot from Skinport like that if you want to get an idea of how the wear looks on both sides. Again, you can do the immediate inspecting game. And for the inspecting game, it'll come with a pop-up asking if you allow it to like access Steam in that way. You just hit OK. and you can inspect it in-game quickly. And then, very similar again, if you wanted to buy it, compared to GamerPay you have to add, like, balance onto the account. A lot of sites you have to add, like, site balance on. Skinport, you literally add the card and then pay with card payment. Done, dusted, okay? And I've used GamerPay and Skinport because they were the two cheapest that came up for the two items we looked at. As you can see, there's a shit ton of sites here. Majority of them, from a glance, are legit, so most of them are fine. What I would say is, if you're using a site that isn't one that, like, was normally recommended. So just to clear up now, the sites I've used consistently over the last 6 months, and that you guys have, like, been involved in conversation with, has been Skinport, has been GamerPay, and also DMarket. DMarket's come under a bit of criticism recently, and there's a bit of, like, questions around there, so maybe not so much DMarket. Skinport and GamerPay are really good, and then also I am going to touch on the CSGO Empire stuff because I have been using their site the past month or so, and there's some very useful things you can do there for buying and selling skins. But I want to go back to the gut knife real quick, and I'm aware that I said I wanted this video to be under 10 minutes, and it's probably going to be longer, but hopefully it's for the better good. So let's go. Right, we said, like, gut knife, phase 1 factory new 235, okay? Now, I want a site that I can search for in pound, and I have to do it specifically, so we're going to have to do, like, a site like this. So let's go gut knife, phase 1, okay? I have to do gut knife Doppler, and then we can filter by phase 1. So let me go down to phases, hit phase 1, and let's see what it comes back as. Cheapest first. So, okay, you can see already, £164 versus 235. So this is not a good example of how you could try and snipe items. I'm not sure if I will be able to get a good example, so what I will just waffle now is, once you get into skins, there's, like, overpays and underpays and stuff. Overpay can come because it's a good float, or because it's got stickers on it. What you can do sometimes, especially with the extensions, which is part of what I want to showcase. So I'm trying to think of a skin that might have, like, really good stickers on it. I'm going to go silly expensive. I'm going to go Vulcan, okay? Let's say we want a Minware Vulcan. They're going to start from 473. And we can already see, like, there's two examples here. So it starts from 473. And then this has a normal Titan cologne on it. I don't think overpay is too much for those. But this is a good example here. A decent float minimal wear with 4 stickers that are all 100% condition. And these stickers are worth like $230, right? Again, we're dealing with the dollars. We'll just have to kind of, like, work with that. We'll use CSGO skins as a direct comparison for this reason. So this, normally, you pay between, like, 5 and 10% overpay 4 stickers on a skin. So these stickers are $230. You'd be expected to maybe pay, like, if you're saying the max of 10%, like an extra $23, for example, over the base price. And the cheapest one is 473, and this is 487. So it kind of falls in and around that overpay mark. This person's priced as well, I would say. But this is, like, by no means a crazy discount. What you'd want to basically do is use these extensions and come through and see if you can find, like, I don't know, say for example it has like $1,000 worth of stickers on it, but you can find it for this 487 price. That might ultimately be better than going and buying the skin for, like, maybe 30 quid less on a third party site, because you're getting these stickers without having to pay a crazy overpay. That's just, like, the one thing to keep in mind. I would need, like, an entire video to dive into the overpay side of things. You can use the Discord if you have questions on that. Please join that. We obviously, community can try and help in the YouTube comments, but I think the dedicated skin section in our Discord, link down below, is going to be the best for this sort of discussion. So, sort of to recap, buying skins on Steam is fine, but you should only do it if you're going for, like, super budget skins, where, like, the savings you get on third-party sites would be, like, null and void, because it's, like, 1 or 2 pence per skin. Or you're specifically hunting, using these, like, extensions to try and find something that you can nab without, like, crazy overpay that makes sense, okay? Then there's 2 sites you should use for checking prices. The first is CSGO Stash, CS2 Stash. It will be linked down below. Reminder, this is for everything Steam price-wise, and you can also see the third-party BitSkins price, but I primarily use this for Steam price. The other site then is going to be CSGO Skins, and this is the one that links to as many third parties as possible. You can filter through in a very similar way. You can pick the skin you want, you can pick the condition, and you'll see it'll filter through which one has the lower price and stuff. Now, one thing is, you won't see CSGO Empire here because they use, like, their own, like, on-site currency, so there's no way for this system to pull out, like, the pricing, and that's why we're going to actually go look directly on CSGO Empire to showcase one of the reasons I love using it. So, like, this is the cool way to buy and sell the skins. Make sure you're using a reputable site. I've given my recommendations on the ones I like to use. Doesn't mean the other ones aren't reputable or fine. Like BitSkins, we know are fine. CS Float's fine. Like CS Money's fine. Skin Barn's fine. Has quite heavy fees, but it's fine. Trade It's fine. So Skins Monkey, stuff like that. They've all been like, they're work with all the big creators, like they're fine. Just we'll cover the things to be careful about at the end. We're not here for the gamble side. We're here for the buying and selling skins, which is built into the withdrawal section or the deposit section, depending on what way you want to do it. Because you can deposit your, like, you can deposit is aka sell your skins on CSGO Empire. And then obviously you could use that to withdraw with different skins. So that's how this works. I wanted to sign in real quick so I could actually look at the auction system myself. So here, this is what it will look like overall. I'm going to change it to, actually, I don't want it to be capped to what my balance is at the minute. I wanted to show everything. So this is the all items right now on CSGO Empire, okay? And you can see a mix of things coming through, and it's based on Empire coins. And just for context, one coin on this is worth like $0.614, just as like a breakdown. That's roughly what it's worth. But this plus or minus, you can see, with lots of stuff coming through, this compares this to buff price. And that's what was deemed the recommended price here. One thing you can do here is just come in and go highest discount. Obviously, that's a win. You're going to try and find stuff that's much cheaper than, like, on the buff price. You're going to get a lot of items that are, like, 0.26. Like, a lot of stuff under $1, basically, okay? And you will see some bits in there, like there was a knife at the very start. Like, you can get this case hardened knife for heavily under, but this is 106 bids on it. So this is one with the auction system. They've started the bid really low. Let's go non-auctions only, just so we don't get hit with that. And then we should have not as much thrown for. So let's go and use price. So there's a few here that are like +5s, +3.6, stuff like that. So let's say you're after like a somewhat expensive skin. So the minimum we're going to do is like 10, which is like $8, $7 kind of thing. And you're going to go for highest discount. So you're going to get the stickers. You're going to get like skins. So Threat Detector for 6% under. Mecha Industries for 5% under is a high field test of float. That's the one thing to keep in mind. A Blackpool Karambit for like 5% under, which at that price, like 5% is a huge difference amount. This is what I like doing here because I can just come in and I can find stuff that's under the recommended price. It is the buff price. And if you're nabbing them at that price, you're laughing. Like, it's solid. So I'm a big fan of this. And then the other thing that I've been using is the auctions only site or version of it. So I'm going to change this to affordable, put it to 0. So I'm going to filter this by what's affordable to me. So you're going to get a mix of different things coming through because I am trying to snipe some items myself at the minute. You can see there's a ton of cases, right? And there's going to be other skins coming through. If I change this filter to have like everything coming through, you'll see a bit more. It's going to still be a lot of cases. But you can see here, Asimov with like liquid fire stickers plus a Shiro Hollow, 2% under. It is a well worn, but people like that. It currently has no bids on it. This could be one you want to bid on, right? So you could, oh my god, it is fucking loading like crazy. This could be one that you want to bid on. It's almost running out of bid time. Recommended price is 132. If you had the balance, you could bid on it. To showcase where this utilized for me quite nicely the other day, is I finally got myself a new knife. After my API scam, which is where I got scammed, to make it clear. I wasn't scamming people. I got API scammed. And we'll discuss that in a second. I managed to get myself a Phase 1 Huntsman Doppler. And I got it for 3 or 4% under buff price. So normally sells on other sites for like $500-ish. I bought it for $430. Like, fantastic buy. Like, absolutely love this. And then some of the other side balance, like I got this Hyper Beast. It is a higher float field tester, but I got this for like 6% under buff value. See, the magazine wears a bit hefty. And then this Asimov was also is 0.19 field test, and I got this for like 3% under buff price. So just some nice ways you can try and get yourself some cheaper items is by using like the auction only system, but also in general just all items and just going for like highest discount and get some of the best deals here. You see some Dragon Lures being sold, some expensive gloves being sold. Like, there's lots of stuff going on here. So now to recap, we've done buying and selling skins on Steam, pros, cons, what you should do, the 2 sites you should use, as in CSGO Stash, CSGO Skins, and the fact that there's like multiple different third parties you can use. Now, the one thing, or the 2 things to discuss when it comes to like third parties, is then people get worried about like the process, are they going to get scammed, stuff like this. All these sites, if they're reputable, you're not going to get scammed by the site itself, but you have to be careful when you're like sending and accepting trade offers. Normally, it's whenever you're sending an offer to give your items away, that's when there's the risk of an API scam, which we'll discuss in a second. But in regards to like getting stuff from the sites, so CSGO Empire recently, you can see I don't have any active trades because I think I've actually got the trade offers to go accept. So I bought some cases using my balance on CSGO Empire, and then I've been sent trade offers for them. You can see it might have multiple here. They cancelled the trade offer, which is a shame. The other ones I've had, if it would show completed offers, I was expecting to be able to showcase you guys, but someone cancelled the trade. The trade offer would come through. You'd basically be able to go and say, okay, respond to offer. This will have to use this as an example. You can see here, I wasn't giving anything away from my side. It's very clear of that, and you can see what I was going to get from them. It normally has the respond to offer, decline offer, like those stuff at the bottom. When it comes to this is fine. You can see what they're offering. You can see you're not losing anything on your side. You can hit accept, and that's fine. The area where concern can come is when you're sending items to the sites to sell, because there is the risk of API scams. Now, I'm not going to dive fully into this because I will probably over-explain it in a way that gets confusing. I'm going to recommend you go and watch Anomaly's video. I will also link this down below. This runs you through the best ways to not get API scammed. Essentially, the key elements for it are, so the way it would work was, say for example, I don't want to be on any site for it because it's not the site's problems. It's a Valve problem, guys. You have this thing called an API key when you're like buying and selling skins, and if for whatever reason that gets leaked, that can allow other people to basically create trades on your behalf, or like they'll be able to cancel the actual trade and replace it with a fake trade, which will allow them to get your skins. This API key can be given away by clicking on like fake Steam community pages. So like, say you see a link on Twitter with someone being like, oh, like check this thing on like community market, or you see it on Reddit or something. Just by clicking an incorrect page, you could put your key at risk. And then the main thing that you want to do is, like, if you're just going to trade an item, whenever you go to a player's profile, I'll go mine here, you can see the level they're at, and that's like one of the key things. So for example, if you were sending me items, right, and you're like, okay, I'm going to send Fozzy my £500 knife, for example, you're going to get a Steam Authenticator message on your phone, and it's going to say, oh, confirm this trade. Within like the few seconds that you get that notification, if someone has an API scam running, they will decline that initial trade, which would be the real trade to me, and then they'll replace it with a fake trade. They will try to duplicate my profile with my name, my profile image, everything like that, and make the identical trade. And then it will look like it's the same thing, and you could very quickly just be, oh, yep, that's Fozzy, hit accept and send it. And then the skin's not going to me, it's going to this person who's copied my page, and it's not just my page, they can copy basically any page. But the one thing you could check on this to make sure it's actually me is check my level. And if you have me on your friends list, check it. You can click through and check if I'm on the friends list, because they can't duplicate level, and that's one of the big things to check. As I say, Anomaly's video is going to be better to watch for it. I would recommend doing that. Like, if you got to this point, recommend watching that. And so, guys, I think mentally I've went over everything. I can see now that my recording is on 29 minutes. So, God, this is going to be longer than I intended. I apologize if you guys didn't like how long it was. I will still try to do timestamps down below, but I wanted to try and do it as detailed as possible, just to run through the different areas that can exist for this. If you want me to go into more depth on a specific element of what we've discussed, please let me know in the comments down below, and maybe that's when I can try to do a 5 to 6 minute video purely focused on that one thing for you guys to try and, like, I don't want to use the word educate, but it is educating content on buying and selling skins on CS. So I'm going to round it off there. We've ran through everything. All the links I've mentioned will be down below. Thank you again for CSGO Empire for sponsoring the video and being very cool with letting me showcase everything that exists in the buy and sell market. There would be some people and some companies that would be very weird about me showing like other companies on a video they're sponsored, so they've been incredible for that. We're going to open some capsules and cases to end it off. Now, I've never opened the Huntsman case before, and there's a Vulcan in it and a K-Mine, and I'm kind of interested in those, but I'm going to open the contender capsules first. I think realistically the main things from this is the gold plus that Outsiders Hollow. I'm not sure if I'll actually get anything of worth. You guys watch my Paris opening video. We've got a gold go by. I'm going to get hit with a 9 dead. We had like the full stream opening stuff on Paris capsules, and we got absolutely screwed the whole way through. But all it takes is one lovely Outsiders Hollow, and we break even in that. And we just had a flashback, as I said, and another gold Internal Fire, and it's going to be nothing. So 3 papers, not really worth it. It's what it is. Let's get this Huntsman's case opened. And now, I think stuff in this can hold value really well. Like, I know the Tech 9 Isaac can. It's all Huntsman lives. There's a Desert Strike M4 we don't really want. We want like a K-Mine, or a Vulcan, or a Huntsman knife. We've still never opened the gold. Can it be now, at the end of this video? I tried not to... Oh, I was going to say, I tried not to get the glitch case and it almost still glitched. Holy. It's going to be a purple at least, and it's going to be an antique. It's going to be field tested, and I have no idea what it's worth. Obviously, you could go check any of the sites that I've just mentioned, like CSGO Stash, CSGO Skins, to go and have a check. It is a purple. I don't know how much it's going to be worth. This is the thing. It's worth like £6. I'll take it. Let's be real. I'm gonna take that. That's fine. That's gonna end off the video, guys. As I say, hopefully it wasn't too long. Hopefully it all made sense. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hit that like button if you did. Hit the subscribe button if you're around here. Check the links in the top of the description for CSGO Empire and also like the pinned comment. And any other links we've mentioned for those other sites will also be linked down below. And the extensions as well. We'll see you in the next one, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.